What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica Williams from the Classic Clown blog. Clearly, tonight we like it spicy. Today is Taco Tuesday. We have Dr. Dix with us tonight. Again, Dr. Dix, thank you for lending your time and your patience to letting us delay the show earlier because we had to have a little rant. Today's show, you should not be surprised because last week's show was these men's not working. This show, these women is not working. What spurred us on from doing this show, and I can tell Dr. Dix, before I introduce him, what nothing makes me more sad are going to airports or certain food areas, and I see a woman in her 50s and 60s, and clearly her back is hurting, her shoulders, her neck, and she's having to do this work that she does not want to do. And then I think about the women that don't have any work. Where are they at right now? So anyways, Dr. Dix, introduce yourself, and let's get it kicked off.
Hello, this is Dr. Patrick Dix coming from South Carolina. My background is in computer science, and I wrote my dissertation on automation. You can find me on LinkedIn at Dr. Patrick Dix. You can find me on Instagram, King of Automation. You can find me on my website, the Dix Consulting Group. And I think that's the other, it might be something else, but those are the three main ones: Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So I appreciate the new followers that I've gotten. And I appreciate the new subscribers to the YouTube channel. I just released some new YouTube videos, so feel free to follow me.
Dr. Dix, we've been on this journey talking about automation. And part of what I keep, earlier I was talking about bumper car people, and people are showing up to work. Funny thing is I go to Lowe's and Home Depot often. You guys know why I go often, but I go often. And there's these registers that are still operated by a person. And I make sure to go to those because I want to show Lowe's that I'm not out here ringing my own stuff. Get out of here. I'm going to the girl that's working. And 9 times out of 10, those girls will be like on their phone. You can go to the checkout. Baby, I'm trying to help you keep a job. I don't work here. You work here for now. Again, I went to Sam's Club. And Sam's Clubs is like a lower Costco. What do you call it? Like a lower version of Walmart's Costco, whatever. And so I'm not a Walmart fan. But Sam's Club we went to was kind of like a ghetto Walmart. And they had no check. They had 3 lanes for a person to check you out. Only one person working in the actual I'll check you out lane. The rest were scanners where you had to scan your own stuff. I couldn't believe it. I said, now you're going to trust these people in a warehouse store similar to Costco to package and scan accurately all these items. And we're not talking about little, we're talking about bulk ketchup, bulk meat, bulk veggies, bulk TVs, blankets, clothes. You don't want a person eyeballing this. This already told me what I needed to know, Dr. Dix. They don't think it's valuable enough to even have a person over there watching you, making sure you don't steal.
Well, I think at Sam's, if it's under $7.50, you can pay on your through the app, scan, and walk out. I think that's what it is, under $750. So you can walk out with a $500 TV and out the door.
So you have these people. They got cameras. They do have cameras. I'm not. Listen, we've seen cameras though. These cameras be from 1980 grainy. A lot of times, I don't know why. It's like the people moving. It's like the board. And they have caught some people. Right? There was a white lady they called. They showed on the news. Oh, shame on her stealing all this money. But this is the thing I want people to understand. I go to the airport in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's this older black lady, and she's like, kind of like, oh, I don't even know how I'm gonna get home. My bus fare. And I'm sitting here eating my chicken Bojangle sandwich, looking at her crazy. They're like, why are you telling me this as you wipe these tables around me? Ma'am, what do you want? Some tip? What do you want? Right? So I can ignore her because I already know what this game is. Oh, I'm just an old black lady. Can't get home because I don't got no bus fare. When the bus fare in Charlotte, someone please look up the bus fare in Charlotte. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but please look up the bus fare in Charlotte. I'm pretty sure it's $2-3. And even if I give you money, the bus fare is usually in change or it's the swipe card now, right? Ain't it the swipe card now to protect the bus driver from getting robbed? So I'm sitting here looking at her like she crazy. Like, why are you sly begging as you work? Girl, if you don't get your ass out of here. So the airport, so I see her doing the same thing at multiple tables because I'm sitting there eating a sandwich. I'm watching. And all these different white people, oh, here's $1. Oh, I hope you get home. Here's $1. Here's some old man. Here's $1, baby. She dollared up. By the 30, 45 minutes I started saying, let me get back to my flight so I can get ready to get on this plane. Oh, girl, got at least 40 people, dude. Oh my God. You don't have time to get money to get home. I mean, again, and so what I think when I saw that is like in her young years, she was slick. And the slick got old, right? She got old.
Mm-hmm.
And so now she's having to do this kind of weird thing.
Yep.
And it's sad because it doesn't have to be that way, Dr. Dix. Now I'm gonna show my screen real quick. Me and Dr. Dix came up on a lot of different really great. Thank you. Someone said it's 450, 440 to go on the bus. Thank you for sharing that. I'm pretty sure she got $44, not just $4. So let me share this literally click. Let me show you this clip. Let me see if I pull it up. Okay. Because they're shocked, Dr. Dix. They're just like, oh my God, here. Are you ready to hear? Let me see.
As stay-at-home orders went into effect and large parts of the economy shut down, she is among the tens of millions of workers who have lost their jobs in just a couple of months. A closer look at data shows.
Pause. Look at this data.
Oh Lord.
Lordy, look at the black people.
Lord have mercy.
We hitting the 22%. Can y'all hear us out here hitting 22%?
Emmett Smith, 22.
22. Lordy, help us. Can y'all see these numbers? Put 22% in the chat, y'all. It's just that serious out here. Now, y'all already know my thoughts. What happened in the pandemic? Several of my white friends were like, oh, girl, we can stay home. We don't even go out there. You have a work from home job. But most Black and Latino women don't. Let's play this video.
How that economic pain is distributed among Americans. And it turns out that job losses during the pandemic have fallen disproportionately on people like Emma. Here's how gender, occupation, and race data can help us understand record unemployment numbers. It's actually unique to this unemployment crisis that women have been the hardest hit.
In previous recessions, women tended to fare better than men.
Pause. Did y'all hear that, everybody? In recessions, women tend to do better than men. Why? Because the jobs that they letting out, these engineering jobs, these construction jobs, these are men jobs. Let's just go there. Let's not be stupid. Let's go there. 9 times out of time, these women did better. I dare say, Dr. Dix, because the data don't show some of these women was home anyway.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women were home. So the data looked good because they weren't even out there looking for a job. Right now, Keisha, Karen, and Becky looking for a job. Everybody looking for a job. Low Keisha looking for a job. Okay?
Exactly.
And so when I heard women say, oh my God, my kids, the school work, I have to stay home. And I'd be like, oh my God, what are you going to do? Oh, girl, I'm going to be home. They didn't even like, it wasn't even a sweating. It wasn't even like a pause in the conversation. It was like, girl, I'm going home. What you talking about? Then I saw black ladies on the news. I saw black ladies in the TV. I saw black ladies crying. Oh Lord, I can't. The kids, I can't go home. And Dr. Dix, we knew that was coming. We knew it was coming.
Yep, exactly.
So let me do a little bit more, then we're gonna show you the next one because there's plenty. But this one.
Men held the dominant share of jobs in sectors like manufacturing and construction, which typically bear the brunt of an economic downturn. During the 2009 financial crisis, unemployment among men reached 11.1%, compared to a peak of 9% for women. This period also marked the first time in U.S. history that women outnumbered men in the workforce, since many of them had occupations in sectors that were more resilient during a recession, like education.
Pause. Now look at the little hats. They got a nurse hat, they got a teacher hat, they got a doctor little hat. So what they were saying is these women was nurses, these women were teachers, these women were in fields where they could keep their job. But this time, these lazy Lisas ain't got no job. Hold on real quick.
Or healthcare. Economists say many married women who hadn't been employed also joined the workforce to replace or supplement their...
Pause. Did you see how they made the woman that's married? Is everybody seeing how big they made the woman that's married? Like they made these other chicks as these Lisas that ain't got no husbands. But this woman on the left got a husband and she had to join the workforce. Why? Because clearly her husband's not making enough money. Clearly, they're not invested. Clearly, they're bumper car people, and they're confused on how money works. Girl, I can't buy my minivan. I'm going to work. I can't go on 3 vacations this year. I'm going to work.
My Chrysler Town and Country minivan.
I'm going to work. I can't believe this. I can't eat out every Friday with you. I'm going to work. That's what happened. That's what happened. You know what? This is perfect timing. I'm not married, but guess what? I've made 650,000, 450,000, 350,000, 250,000, and 150,000 every year for the past 8 years. So in a range of those numbers I just quoted. So do I fit with you regular bumper car people? No, I do not. I hate to be an asshole on YouTube, but this is the time for me to be an asshole. I'm not like you. Well, Erica, you sell courses. It's not just courses. I done put my money in real estate. I done put my money in trucking. I done put my money in farmland. I done put my money into several places. So we are not the same. I'm not going to be outside looking for a job so I can go there. Do you want me to go there? Because that's what really it's about. We're not the same. Let's go ahead and play that back. We're not the same. 650,000, 450,000, 250,000, 150,000. I would love for you to print out your last 9 years of tax returns and give them to me, and I'll compare tax returns. When you're ready to do that, let's talk. When you're ready to do that, let's talk. Because I'm pretty sure I'm nowhere in a category near these people that are out here looking for a job. Would you like to go there? Would you like to go there? There you go. That's all. Just putting it on the table. Just put my penis on the table, and I'm going to take it back off. Anyway, let's finish, Dr. Dix. Exactly. But you're welcome to email our staff and show it to us. But you're not. So guess what you're joining tonight? The Block Ministry. Have a great night. See, when they say, well, you don't know how much I make. Well, feel free to call me. Let's pull it. Let's FaceTime. Let's FaceTime. Let's show some records. He not ready. Little bank big bank take little bank. Get the hell on out of here. All right, let's finish.
Their partners lost income. By 2019, women outnumbered men in the U.S. paid workforce for the second time in history.
Growth in service sector professions actually allowed women to overtake men as the dominant share of all non-farm payrolls that occurred, at the end of last year.
But the pandemic has now upended that.
Women account for about 77% of workers in occupation.
77% of what women do are in occupations that require close personal contact.
Sound like automation coming to me.
77%. So when they sitting here bragging, telling 2020, these women was out here doing it for themselves. These women, if they had no investments, it was a wrap. If they could not go home and take care of little Bobby during the pandemic, it was a wrap. If they couldn't watch little Jerome, who was watching him? So, of course, women left out of the workforce, and they will continue to leave. Let me tell you something. You're going to see massive number of women drop out of the workforce next year. The math ain't mathing. They can't make it make sense. They will stay home. They will reduce their spending. They will learn how to cook meals from home. Like if you noticed the trend on soft living. Really what they're saying is I'm cooking from home and I'm taking baths and I'm cleaning my house slowly. Soft living. That's what they're doing. That's what this movement is. A nice way to dress up. I'm going home because it's my choice. Is it? Right now, 33% of men, 18 to, I think it's 49. It might be 35. Let me double check my numbers, but I think it's 18 to 32 or something. Live at home with their parents. 1 in 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's way less for women. Women usually, their parents put them out. Get your ass out. You're doing too much. So if 1 in 3 men are living home, and Susie got an apartment, and Jerome want to come live in that apartment, guess what happens? Jerome comes live in that apartment. That's why when they tell me these numbers, well, Black women are the most evictions. These black women is not living in these places by themselves. If you believe that, I got a bridge in Arizona I can sell you. If you believe that, I got a cow outside the window right now I can sell you. These people need two people's income because these women are in jobs and sectors that are not considered. Like right now, I go get my massages from Stone. The woman that does the best massage in the place that's booked out all the time, she bought a food truck. Dr. Dick, she bought a food truck. And everybody's like, why are you doing that? Because she knows she's older and she cannot completely keep doing this job at this rate forever. So she's buying a food truck. She's going to have two people on staff and let it make her some weekend money. And she going to make it.
Yeah.
Same thing with the other girl that does my massage. She only works Sunday, Monday. And I go, why you don't work? Oh, I have another job. So they're out here part-time in it, Dr. Dix.
Yeah, those days, I've been discussing that, and you and I talked about it. Women don't realize they're not going to feel the brunt of the real world just like men have. I mean, they've been able to escape it, but the days of getting a posh degree or a little minor degree saying, hey, I'm going to get a job and I'm going to be able to go sit in the office and just get paid and find a guy that's going to replace the slack, that's over. Now you got to get out here in the rat race and do bumper cars, as Erica is saying, and not feel the pew, 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 from people, so this is what the world is consisting of from here on out. Everybody's going to have to fight. The days like the video where we made favors are over. It is over for a lot of people. When I say over, if you don't have a plan from 2023 on, it is, what is it, the 6th right now? If you don't have a plan in the next 27 days, 28, 25 days, whatever it is, 26 days, you better really be working on trying to get your life together. I mean, to women out there, I'm really telling you, it's very real out here. It's cold. I saw over there in Ukraine, they cut the heat off from shooting missiles, and it was mostly women in the hospital with kids trying to rub their hands together to keep their babies warm. The same stuff can happen over here. So to the women out there, I'm just being honest, you really have to prepare. You really need to rethink your life and who you're hanging around, because it's getting real for you, just like the 7 million men sitting at home. If 7 million men are sitting at home, what I want to ask a lot of the women that are not working, who are you going to live with and get money from? And Erica just said most men are living at home with their parents. That's a question to be answered.
1 in 3. So that's why when people say, why aren't these men working? They living at home with their mom. They living at home with their dad. I know an Italian family in Fayetteville. They have 5, is it 5 or 6? No, they have 5. There's another family that has 6 sons, but they have 5 sons. They're Italian. And they have one sister. The one sister was the first person to leave. She's like, I'm out of here. This is crazy. Now they got a big old house in Fayetteville, but every son kept coming back because the sons wanted to work in sports or therapy or try to work for a sports team. And the dad was like, y'all need real jobs. Eventually, I looked up one time when I went home. I said, hey, let me call him, check on him. The one son was still unemployed. He was still part-time substitute teacher. You know why? He wanted to be a PE teacher. I said, now PE teachers was going out of style in 1999. So you telling me you left college at 2002? Because he graduated, he was 4 years older than all of us. And you knew they were not hiring PE teachers. You had to also be a PE teacher plus an English teacher, a PE teacher plus a science teacher, something combination. And so he's mad because he's like, well, I can't get good job offers. I can't live out here. So I'm like, okay, well, then you need to go do something else. This man is still trying to be a teacher. He's in his, he's 40 something. And I sat there and said, now you spent all these years part-time working at Lowe's, part-time working at Home Depot, always talking about you a teacher. You ain't really been no teacher. You've been a substitute teacher off and on for basically 20 years. Living at your parents' big ass house. Because they have the pool, and they have the apartment over the pool, and then they got the apartment over the garage. They even had one brother come back. He was married with a wife that was pregnant. And his mom's like, oh, we struggled when we were younger. Stop talking to them like that. And they're Greek, right? So, it's a cultural thing too. And so the dad's like, yeah, but we had our own money. We had our own place making all these damn kids. We didn't come live back with our parents. And so when you sit here and try to talk to people about bumper car people and people not paying attention, you have 1 in 3 men already at home living with parents. So these women that are out here, I'm glad they're getting some independence. I'm glad they're doing it for themselves. Sisters doing it for themselves. But if these sisters ain't investing some money and putting some money aside and paying off their bills and not buying handbags and shit, it's about to be rough. It's about to be rough.
Very real. And
read that right there, Dr. Dix.
Erica on the rap battle ish tonight. Let's go.
I put a new thing on the screen. Can you see it?
Oh, I'm on the other. Fastest growing segment of van life for women over 55.
55, y'all.
I'm
not getting no van.
I went to Tampa a couple of weeks ago. Do y'all realize most of the people that served me in the airport were old people? If you go to the Atlanta airport, anybody on here that flies to the ATL airport, most of the people are mean-looking black kids. I'm just call it what it is, and mean-looking older black women and men. I can't help that you have that job. That's not my fault. I mean, I try to smile, and laugh and whatnot, but I'm just being real. And we have to raise the bar. One of the things in our community, I'm going to be honest, when a kid graduates high school, people act like they hit the lottery. I'm just going to be honest. Graduating high school is required in life. So we have to stop lying to people and telling them, oh, well, I know two people that raised four people all $75,000 to $80,000. You cannot do that anymore. These days of just struggling, getting by are over. I don't think people are seeing how the game is slowly catching up with people. You can't do anything. $15 times two. If two people are in a household are making $15 a piece, that's 30. What are you going to do at 30 times for $1,200? 1,200 times for $4,800. 48 times 12. Let me see on my phone right here. $4,800 a month times 12. What are you going to do with $57,600 to feed a family of people? Please tell me. That's not even taxes counting 401k and retirement. We got to stop setting the bar low with people, letting them think, oh, well, you can make it off that right there. You can't make it off that. Women and men really need to realize you have to have a skill set. I mean, people want to do mediocre work and get a maximum output for it. It's just like the law of economics. You want to do the least and get the most. Life, like they say, life is like a bank account. You're going to put it, you're going to get out of it. You're going to get out what you put in. You cannot continue to think I'm going to get $100,000 a year salary doing mediocre work. And people get mad when they can't get what they want. They need to raise minimum. That's why people complain about minimum wage in New York and all the other places. They need to raise minimum wage to $15 at McDonald's to flip a burger. We need to pay you $15 an hour when the grill tell you when to flip the burger and throw some fries in a bag. Really? Seriously? McDonald's was for high school kids or for college kids. It was not for adults my age to sit there and try to make a life off of it. So life is coming. Get real. Please, people, like the comment says, don't have kids if you can't afford it. I'm being honest. Kids are very expensive. I don't have kids yet, but children are expensive. I have nieces and nephews. They're very expensive. Stop trying to have kids if you can't afford it. Oh, that's my opinion.
Dr. Dix, you know what happens? They fall pregnant. They just fall down and, oh my God, I'm pregnant. How? They just somehow they bewitch them and they fall pregnant. Someone said he needed to move for hiring because they hire PT. Listen, I've heard every excuse in the book from this guy about moving, about taking different jobs, and it always goes back to the same thing. You guys, you're moving to a new city to take a job paying you $35,000 a year to be a teacher. So now you're moving to an area you probably don't like. It's probably not safe, just to keep cheap rent, so you can be a teacher. Again, women teachers, I make this joke all the time. The most marriageable women are like, I think it's nurses and women teachers. And I go because there was a time where women teachers didn't make no money, worse than what they do now. They had to be married. You just happened to be a teacher. You just wanted to do something off on the side. You didn't be like, oh, I can't wait to be a teacher forever. No, you was like, oh, I need something to do. Let me be a teacher. There was a time when women weren't allowed to do anything but be a nurse or be a teacher. So you had the best nurses and best teachers. Now you have women can do anything kind of thing.
Well, how the world is advancing, I express this all the time with technology. Women got to wake up. I sent Erica an article on skill sets. We'll probably get to that, what you need to invest in. But everybody needs to realize you cannot do it on your own. I can't do it on my own, and women cannot do it on their own. We got to stop we have to stop letting people think, oh, girl, you strong. You could do it on your own. No, sweetheart. And everybody from South Carolina, where I want to live at, want to move to Atlanta. First thing I ask, do you have a minimum of $100,000 a year salary or skill set to even move to any part of Atlanta? I was just over there this past weekend at the World Council where we did the event in Marietta. I said, basically, do you even have a skill set of 100 to 120 basic skill set? I said, what are you moving over here from where I live? Somebody will move to say, oh man, I'll work in a warehouse or a facility. I'm gonna work at Home Depot. So you're struggling in Atlanta and you were struggling in South Carolina. But we gotta stop rewarding that stupid thought. I hate to say the word stupid, but that is stupidity at its highest level. You're gonna graduate high school with no skill set and move to Atlanta to struggle. 4 of y'all gonna get in an apartment where the rent $2,500 a month. Somebody is not gonna have their money. Y'all about to get evicted. Then y'all about to get in an argument. Then y'all got to call somebody family member. Then y'all got to try to find out how to pay it. Then somebody gonna move back and somebody gonna turn up pregnant. We all know how the story goes.
They're gonna fall pregnant. They're bewitched and they fall down and wake up pregnant. Someone said majority of Black men that do work are security guards. That's how I see them in Southern California. And this is the thing. There's no knock to security guards. No knock. Look, this is good money, right? This is the thing. This is good money, but use your time as a security guard to do something else. You know me, Dr. Dix, I can't even explain to you how many Black men have called me over the past 6 years. I would dare say 100 that were security guards. And like, yo, I'm about to be 45, 50. My back hurt. What do you recommend? I'm like, all right, well, let's get you mobile notary. Let's get you into tech. Let's get you in something where you can sit down and type. You ain't gonna be walking around on concrete trying to be Mr. Bodyguard. Let's find you something. Let's do a deep dive. Let's get you in the community college. Let's get you an HVAC. At least if you're going to be out there working with your hands, let it be some real money you get off of it. You know how to work. So this is again, someone said there's a YouTube channel. Here it is right here. It shows a lot of elderly women living in their cars and vans. And 9 times out of 10, when I ask people, okay, well, why can't, let's just do the process elimination. Take a deep breath. The bumper car people, they wear me out. They're bumper car people. If you are elderly man or woman and you can't live with family, what happened? Were you the toxic? Were you the wild child that would not listen, that would not go to work, that would not structure? And so now you're older and you need money. Look at the video from Atlanta. You see those videos in Atlanta where they interview the homeless people on the street? Oh man, you know what happened is I was with my baby mama. You know, and she put me out and I've been homeless ever since. Wait a minute, back that story up. And the guy always goes, but what happened? Okay, I cheated on her. Okay, well, what happened to your job? I was late to work because I cheated on her and then I missed my job a couple days in a row and they fired me. So now you thrown out on the street. Bumper car life, bumper car living. Oh, you cheated on somebody and they won't let you stay on a place where your name ain't on the list? Yeah, that's usually how that happens. That's usually how that happens.
I'm sorry to say this, but if you a man and you gonna step out and cheat, at least have your own place. Y'all always notice the men that do the most cheating are the guys that don't have nothing. At least if you're gonna cheat, you don't even have your own car, own apartment.
They got enough energy to be out here chasing ladies all day. Where they get this energy from? Go get another job, brother. You got too much energy.
I'll be here on the weekend watching the show Cheaters, y'all know, from the early 2000s and mid 2000s, and it'll show, hold up, you cheating and don't even have a job. Hold up, how you cheating on a woman and don't even have a job, and if she kick you out, I gotta go live with my homeboy. I gotta go back with my mama. At least if you're gonna be a player out there, at least have your stuff together. Men and women, I'm just being honest. Yeah, if you cheating, why can't you stay at the new girl's house? Because hey, NICU grad a new girl's house, live with her parents, so they can't stay with nobody.
She don't stay with nobody either. She ain't listen. Let me see. Somebody said what really bothers me is all these women's shelters are full and rejecting women now because they send them to the hospital and they just send them to the street. It's really scary to see. But that's the thing. This didn't happen overnight. You know, you hear all these stories of, oh my God, they fell homeless. Like, nah, every time I've lost my apartment or my car, it happened at the same time. I lost a car from work. I missed a certain number of days of work. Then I lost my place. And I was like, oh, I'll never let this shit happen again. So then I doubled up. Next car I got, doubled up on the work, doubled up on the skills, kept raising my skill level. I was like, okay, what this got to do? This. Y'all, it's almost like these people fall on one hard time and go, oh my God. Right? This means you need to this is a pivot moment. And this is what's happening, Dr. Dix. We have a sea of women who are like, ooh, let me pivot over here to a career, a tech or something. There's the Black woman that's a stripper that's in tech. She kept promoting that she was a stripper into tech now. She started cleaning up her whole Instagram, Dr. Dix. She done took all the stripping stuff down. You know why? She got that white coworker boyfriend at the tech company. She posted the picture. I said, "Oh Lord, this man don't even know he got a stripper." It don't matter. She in tech now, right? But this is what's happening. You have these women pivot to actual work careers that they can maintain and do long term, or you're gonna have a sea of women go, "You know what I want to do? I want to live on a farm in the middle of nowhere with my husband because, I don't have any money." There was a woman from our church. She met a dude online from Kentucky that lived in a town of 700 people. She left here in Austin, 52 years old, left, went to live with that man in Kentucky, married him and everything. And everybody's like, "Wait a minute, girl, you going to Kentucky? How many times you met this man?" "Oh, we've been on the phone every day. He came out here for 2 weeks and now I'm going to marry him and go to Kentucky." That's how bad it is, Dr. Dix. That women is leaving and moving to a town in Kentucky with 700 people in it.
Oh, I got something better than that. Y'all ever watch 90 Day Fiance? Y'all ever notice nobody on that show has money? They're all broke. One lady is trying to move out. There are several people on there, the men and women, are moved from the U.S. to another country. I wonder, during that process to get their visa and passport, when they're going to the other country, do they think, how am I going to provide for myself and this man or woman that I'm going to marry or date? Like you said, the bumper car life. Like, does anybody have even common sense for that? And y'all know, I don't know if anybody watches O'Shea's videos, but O'Shea says a statement in his video: society is not as sympathetic to women as it used to be. And that is a true saying. Somebody wrote earlier a comment about the women in the homeless shelters. I don't know if y'all see it, but I'm starting to see more and more women on the streets in the tents. And you used to didn't really see women because people would take people, regardless of a woman's situation or what they look like, somebody would take a woman in. You don't see that anymore. Women, yes, somebody
Even if
would
she
take
looked like she
women
work
in.
at a warehouse all day, somebody would take her, Dr. Dix.
So
She's still
somebody
alive.
would take her in. Somebody would take her in, but now people don't take women in anymore. It's like you got to feel the brunt of society just like everybody else. And like Erica was saying, some women are going to make that pivotal moment, and some women are going to make the pivotal pivot right now. I tell everybody, America is for sale. Right now is a pivotal time in America. You got nobody wanting to work and you have nobody wanting to do anything. You can get whatever you want right now if you just are willing to put the work in, because this ship is going to get back on the right path. And when it's on the right path, it's going to build so much speed till all the people that don't know what they're doing, they're going to drown. There's no other way to say it.
Dr. Dix, I've been telling people, you see how many they let all them Ukrainians in? They let all them Afghanis in. They let them Bosnians. They let Somalians in, and Somalians out there beefing in out there. Look in these areas in Ohio, St. Louis, Missouri. All these immigrants that they let in about a good 5 to 10 years ago, they own houses. They own property. These are people that came with no pot to piss in. And, we can go on the internet. They helping them do this. They helping them do that. Again, I just want you to stop for a minute and focus. If you're a woman and a man born in America, how is somebody coming here and owning a home before you? "Oh, I don't want a house over there. I don't want to live in the hood." Again, these are the same people that will sell grandma house that think Deion standards need to stay in Jackson, Mississippi for 50 years. Y'all.
Yeah.
You have to get serious.
Yeah, this
bumper car living is not going to work.
This is the most, regardless of what people say, this still is the most powerful country. I'll say it's the most powerful country in the world. You can apply, you can do a resume on your phone, interview on your phone, do all the stuff on your phone. This phone right here is the most powerful thing right now, powerful than a regular computer. You're the most powerful country in the world. There are opportunities everywhere. The United States flushes billions of dollars down the toilet every day. They burn money. Just come up with a plan to figure out how to get it. If it's picking up trash, I'm not going to lie. I've said this before. If I didn't have the skill set I had, the main thing I would do is start a garbage collection service, because people don't want garbage around their house. I will go get my CDL, spend about $80,000 on a trash truck, pay the fee to the landfill, start out early in the morning. Trash is a safety and health hazard. People will pay $30 a month on a trash can to get the trash out, because people are lazy. They're saying all I got to do is put it in the trash can and roll it to the road, and you're going to come by and get it. All I got to do is pay you $30 a month, $360 a year. Some people will say, here goes the whole fee for the whole year. It's that simple. and you start off with one trash truck, you get a contract with a subdivision. I mean, if you do recycling, that's up to you, but it's just ways to make money. I mean, that's a blue collar. I mean, you could be a
Valet
felon, like
trash.
people say that.
It's called
Say
valet
again.
trash here in Texas. The apartment
Yep.
complex makes everybody in the apartment complex pay $25 for the valet trash service. They do a wholesale contract to the guys that pick up the trash. There's a couple black guys out here that did a couple apartments. They would pick up. They would have literally Ford Ranger trucks, and they would have a bag that kind of holds extra bags in the back, and they would throw all the bags in the truck. That truck would drive off, then another truck would come, or they would come with this extra little like cheap trucks, and they would take the trash and dump it, and then hit the compactor button, and whatever didn't go in the compactor, they line the rest of the trash up. This is very much a listen, service based, but who wants to load trash? But that's the point. They missed the middleman to million style. They were the owner of the valet trash service company, so they could ask for this wholesale contract and then turn around and hire you for $15-$20 an hour, run around collecting trash at an apartment complex.
And that's a big business. That's something that will never go out of style. And then if you could get the trash trucks to where you get the robotic arm, and you still can have people drive the truck. Then where you really make the money is where you go get trash from businesses, commercial trash. Think about how much food and trash a restaurant generates every day. And you can get a tax, but that's a whole nother conversation for people.
But part of what me and Dr. Dix are talking about is usually who would do those jobs, not women. Women ain't running up and down no hallways pulling trash bags. That's men. Now the woman may help own the company, but she ain't doing no trash hauls. This is the stuff people don't want to really address. That this is why these women are like, damn, what skill do you have that is not required you to answer phones and dress nice at the front desk? Do you know how many times I go on Pinterest and it's like work outfits? Look at your work outfit. They're here, put together a work outfit. If you don't stop,
you're gonna have to get ugly to make money. I'm sorry to tell you, but those days are over. You're gonna get sweaty. I'll have the roaches crawling on my arm. I have on my suit and my hoodie. I said, man, I'm making $300,000 a year throwing that trash in there. I said, after a while, we could contract it out. But I said, if I didn't have a skill set, you could be a felon. Nobody would care about your criminal record doing that. They're like, we don't care. They get the trash from around us. That's all they care about. The trash is gone. So it is what it is out here, people. I hope people are taking advantage and just really seeing what's going on. And to the women out there, like you said, you won't find a woman on a trash truck. I'm sorry to say that, but 5 in the morning, 5 to 1 every morning, throwing the trash out there, the trash can.
Listen, you throw your whole arm out. Man, I barely take the trash out to the front door. Listen, Attell said, times are tough. If I had the chance to get married and move to Kentucky, I would. And I'm not even hating on it because there is a whole Instagram, YouTube, TikTok about homesteading, right? Our grandparents would have never called it. They were like, oh, your cousin live in the country at the farm. We call it homesteading. I make butter. I have honey and fruit for the kids. And again, this is a movement. You will see more of it. There's a book called, oh, damn, I can't think of it. But it's got they look like they farmers on the front cover. But it's basically where people are moving further out and they're like, well, we gonna learn how to farm. I'm not knocking anybody who says, Erica, I'm not trying to start a business. I ain't trying to do all this. I ain't trying to rack up a bunch of credit card debt. No problem. Kick it in low gear. America is the one place. You're right. Diamond Dave even talked about this. This is the one country where you can be a C player and still be all right. I saw a video from a woman in Africa on TikTok where she's cutting food. She ain't got no arms. She's taking her one toe is holding the cucumber and her other foot is cutting it with a knife. She still has to prep her own food in her house, y'all, with her feet. And people are like, oh, Erica, you ain't got to be like that. But it's for real. For real. Like, you're in a country where somebody can come bring her food. In parts of Africa, not all, because lots of Africa has in cities and states and beautiful places, there is no fault safety net for women. It's you get married to old Bajuju or you hush your mouth. You get married to old Gino or you hush your mouth. You get married to this old Japanese dude or you hush your mouth. They showed this movie in Hawaii, and it was these old Japanese men. This is the trick. This is what they would do, Dr. Dix. They would send a picture of them young selves when they first left Japan to go to Hawaii to work. And then the women would come and be like, oh, where's my husband? And his old ass would come out like, hey, this is a real thing that happened in Hawaii. This is how these men shipped wives over. They would send a picture of their young self because they only had like one picture they ever took. So you took your one picture, mailed it out, and the poor girl comes, and you damn 55, been in sugar fields for 30 years. You're tanned up and old.
Mm-hmm.
This is a real thing that happened. There was a
Mm-hmm.
movie. Again, a lot of this stuff, people are like, oh, this is a movie. But this is really what happened in Hawaii. It's how they got such a huge Asian population. This was a big thing when they sent the Chinese men over and they made the Chinese Law Act where they was not letting more Chinese people in. Well, these Chinese men couldn't have wives from America. They couldn't get white women at high numbers. They couldn't get black and freshly unslaved black women at high numbers. They needed to send women from home. Well, if you won't let them get women from home, they had to leave. Because people come for what? To make a life.
Well, to build on a point you said earlier, just think about it. Back in the day, a woman could not move out of house unless she was married. I know my mom couldn't leave her parents' house until she married my father. So a lot of society has changed. We're putting a lot of women out here to come up with $2,500 a month when they only have $1,000. And you and I, Erica, both know women that moved out. They got to reach back to the family to get an extra $900 a month to live. You're like, you might as well move back in. More money is coming out than you staying here just so you wanted to move out to prove something. That is another big element of why we have a lot of women that are in a lot of trouble right now. You can't just get out here and make these decisions and just think, well, somebody's going to help me. Assumptions are what have a lot of the women, white or black, no matter what race they are, all messed up. You can't, because a lot of women think, oh, girl, I'm cute. If you go on TikTok, I cannot stand that thing on Instagram, the little 3-second video where the girls just bat their eyes and they turn the thing like this. I can't. That thing is irritating. And I said, okay, you're cute right now, but what are you going to do down the line? What value are you going to bring to a man? It's real out here. Nobody really is thinking about that. Like you said, they're playing boat cars and on the roller coaster. And when the roller coaster go down and don't have no more momentum to go up, you about 35 now, like, sweetheart, what you gonna do? So we have to be more honest with women. I mean, we're honest with men. Like I said, I dug in on the men. We got to be real honest with women. A lot of the things a lot of women want to do, they don't work how they think they're gonna work. It's just plain and simple. I tell men that all the time.
Artist. I'm gonna make music. The same when we have a friend that's a male musician, and every couple of years we tell him, make sure you get a part-time job. He's like, I am. And then guess what he does? He does wedding singing. He don't like it, but it pays the bills. He does the wedding DJ. Why? Because it pays the bills. Now, part of why people say, well, Erica, why did you push Tech Tuesdays so hard? You guys, I just witnessed so many people who have been in tech from 21 to 31 just decide they didn't want to work the next year. And they had so much money saved up because they've been making 120 every year for 10 years. They made $1 million. If they ain't got no money, that's on them. They're a dummy. So then I would watch people, and you can go look on TikTok all day and see this. They would literally go into tech 90 days, 6 months, and they would be in 3 years so far ahead of everybody they ever knew. They'd be so financially far ahead. They'd be like, oh my God, that the money they're making, ask Tamika, ask any of these people, they make so much money that they're investing it at high rates, that they have different options. But the problem we experience is people have lack of exposure, because I meet black women all the time that I meet in food service, different places, that I think would be just smart as a whip. I'm like, you could do anything. Why are you working this job? So again, someone in the chat said, you can book a call with me. You can book a call with Dr. Dix. We have our consulting links in the chat. Dr. Dix consulting link is in the chat. Dr. Dix can put it in there again. She said, I am a veteran working on a degree in business administration. VA is paying for my education. Congratulations. And I have a CDL. Am I able to do a phone consult? You can do it with me or Dr. Dix. Just put it in the path. Put it in the chat. Okay, let me see. Sweaty equals money. Yep.
I just put mine in there.
No woman on a trash truck. Dr. Dix ain't lying. Trash removal, junk removal is a straight profit. And I honestly said, if you haven't even thought about doing a junk removal company, it's going to be very lucrative, because with the hoarders, the elderly population, all that. Winter is coming. Kevin Samuels didn't start that. Winter is coming came from Game of Thrones. The amount of black people that don't know Winter is Coming is from Game of Thrones blows my absolute mind. Every day, the number one show with 20 million people every Sunday watching it. Black people are like, what? Winter's coming? Kevin Samuels said that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Also,
Steven said them studs be on the trash truck. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all inappropriate. Ooh. I cannot.
He wrong for that.
Oh, not this. Don't do that. Don't talk about them women like that.
He wrong.
Dr. Dix can't even get it together now. We over. Okay.
I'm sorry, Steven. That is that. I'm sorry,
Mr. Fantastic. Here, this is the thing. This is the data, Mr. Fantastic. A lot of these women, was it 280,000 women lost their job during, was it COVID? What month was that? They had asked all those women to go home, and it was like 99.9% of the women that lost their jobs were women.
Let me see.
What year was that?
Oh, this is 2020. Yeah, 2020. A lot of women lost. It was about March or April. Let me see. I printed out some stuff. I was doing some research on this.
And Mr. Fantastic, here to Mr. Fantastic's point, when they say, "Oh, I thought women were women," when it comes to overall quality of life, living life, going to Miami, sure, there are a lot of women winning, but what I'm talking about is over the next 2 to 5 years, what you're going to see is if there is a recession period, we cut the light links at work first. So HR is going, admin people is going, cold callers are going. Who are those people? Those people are usually women. So,
yeah, September 2021, more than 860,000 women dropped out the labor force in September, according to a new report.
Bam.
That was just right here from a paper. Yeah, I've printed some stuff out looking at this. Yeah, that was last September. I think altogether, don't quote me, I think over 2 million women have left the workforce since March 2020. That was the official start of the pandemic. And majority of those women aren't coming back. You, Erica, we've done shows like in 2021. Most of those women have husbands that have pensions, and they're like, I'm not going back to work. That's done. Why? I'm sitting home. I'm gonna chill.
For sure.
So, yeah.
I mean, this is where it's at. This is what it is. So again, somebody said I got in a trucking and pivoted into junk removal, 2 separate businesses. Yeah, you again, when people say, "Oh, trucking can have problems," but that junk removal, people always need some junk gone. Always.
Oh man, buy 30. Another good thing, you could buy 30 acres and go buy cars out people's yard and just have like a junkyard. I mean, somebody really want to get innovative. I'll just get an ideal away. Y'all know all these electric cars. Our infrastructure can't take an electric car. This is being the commercial power. Electric cars are going to cause more fatigue on the road. But what people are not realizing is when these cars get totaled, what are you going to do with the lithium battery? You buy 50 acres in the middle of nowhere, you can store the lithium batteries for the government and get big money. That's ideal to somebody. I'm just tossing that out there. What you going to do with a Tesla? I mean, you got a lithium battery. You just can't throw it in the trash. That's the thing I don't think no one has thought about. What you're going to do with these batteries once they expire. So that's another business for somebody. You could create one in every state if you wanted to. But that article I sent.
It says 1 million women are missing from the labor force compared to the pre-pandemic. They ain't missing. They ain't in it. Talk to them, Dr. Dix. Where these women went? Where did these women go?
They went home, and so most of them never joined the workforce. They were already sitting at home. Pre-pandemic, I mean, the women are already leaving the workforce. I have an article for 2017. Women may never make up half of the U.S. workforce. Right here, I printed out stuff when I was researching this from the Pew Research Center. So we were already having problems with women in the workforce. So it's just going to continue to get worse. And just think about the simple task jobs that I've talked about and the administrative jobs that are going to be automated. That's where the rest of the women that are in the workforce that don't have a transferable skill set are going to be completely eliminated. And I hate to say the word obliterated out of the workforce. That's it. There is no coming back from that once technology is advanced. I don't know for most of the people that are viewing, if you saw the news yesterday over in Georgia, Governor Kemp, they signed, there's a company coming over that's going to create 137 jobs that is building robots that are actually going to take the jobs from other people. That's where we're heading, people. If you don't believe me, Google it. This is where the world is heading. If you look at this labor force participation by sex right here, this graph right here on the chart, you have more men at 71 to 58. If there's 71% of men participating and 7 million men are out the workforce, I just want people to realize when men stop working, the whole economy can really come to a standstill. So we have serious problems approaching us right now.
Well, we also have the fourth turning happening, where we have things that are going to be broken, and the people that we need to fix it are going to be retired, or they're going to be too old to fix it.
Yeah, like plumbing. We mentioned that plumbing, all those blue collar things you can't fix. Like shade tree mechanics are a thing of the past. Now you fix cars by computers, but changing tires and stuff and coming to somebody's house, changing their hot water heater, you still got to have people. We don't have enough people in trades. And I saw, I forgot which state they're trying to give more incentives for young men and women to get into the blue collar trades. So if y'all have a kid out there, they don't know what they want to do, I would tell them to go to trade school. You could be a millionaire off of a plumbing business. While everybody else laughing about you driving a van around, once you started off good enough, you can get big city contracts. Because if they build, like Eric and them talking about building houses, they got to have power. They got to have plumbing. That's where you come in and get the big contracts to do all the plumbing in the subdivision. So the opportunities are there.
Let me address this really quick. He cutting up tonight. Will, I've been knew this. This is just confirming Fantastic was right versus content strategy. Kept up the great work as always. So here's the thing. Studies do show that women, and this is mostly white women, investment accounts are better, or percentage wise have done better than most of their white male counterparts by the time they're 60, right? And this is just showing that, you know, women's choices are usually, depending on what's in their stock profile, usually more steady, sturdy things. Men are more like, let's AMC pumping them, let's jump and chase all these things. So there's some aspects where they're talking about where women are winning, but let's be very honest. What is the definition of winning? That's what we really have to assess. To me, if we're saying the definition of winning is people have freedom of choice to not do things they don't want to do, that is definition of winning, right? But again, in America, our definition of winning is sometimes house and cars and stuff. And I'm like, ooh, you have to keep up that stuff. Dr. Dix, you see that thing I posted where the woman was like 80 years old and she couldn't retire because she had like $160K left on her mortgage, and the dude raised $180,000. And I'm like, even if we pay off her mortgage tomorrow, how is she gonna buy medicine? How is she gonna buy food? How is she gonna do? Again, Social Security gives the average person $500 to $800 a month.
That's it.
So let's just, the math ain't math in here. So I just thought that was funny. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Yeah, I don't know. And then people really want, I think, 2023, the government is giving a cost of living increase. I don't really know if you're 70 years old, how you're going to survive off of $1,300 a month with Medicaid Part A or B. I don't know if you're old, how that works, but that is not really a lot of money to survive off of. I'm going to be honest, if you're 60 years old and you're still working and, you know, you're not working just to have insurance, you made some bad choices in your whole life. I see it now. I'm seeing more older and older people, but then they'll say we're calling people to come back to work because the younger people don't want to work. I mean, that could be true, but some people just got to get out here and work. How are you 75 years old and still working hard as us in our 30s? That you know, I see that a lot. People used to be the Walmart greeter, and Walmart got rid of the Walmart greeters. I don't know, y'all. I'm behooved whenever I travel. I tell everybody, when you travel, do situational awareness and just see everything around you. Look at all the old people, look at the young people, look at the occupations. Like you said, Erica, people want a bump car life. They want it to be simple their whole life. They don't want to put no work in. Then they want to come in and look at this channel. They want to buy a course and say, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire in 2 to 3 years. No, it doesn't work like that. But y'all know how I feel. Yeah.
Here's the thing, Dr. Dix, even the comments people are saying in the chat right now, I know so many women who do makeup and hair, they do make their money on their table, but that's just it. They're making their money on the table. Can they qualify for a home? Can they qualify for retirement? Are they putting that money in stock? Are they putting that money somewhere where it will give them a return? If they just doing hair and nails and get to buy or get to go their vacation trip, long term, that don't play well. Same thing here. Alonzo said, I had got my first 2 rental properties to take care of as a handyman because her handyman got too old. Finally got to use my handyman LLC.
That's a good thing right there, because Alonzo can use the rest of his stuff to contract it out. This is the thing I'll tell women that have a business. Same thing we said to men. If pandemic 2.0 happens again, are people going to need that service? Nobody's going to be worrying about their hair and nails when they can't leave. People could say, oh, they're going to go. You can't go to the club. You can't do this. I said, you got to remember, makeup artists, you could go on YouTube and learn how to contour your nose off of YouTube, people. We're letting people say they're an entrepreneur. That's not a needed service. That's not an essential service. Like we were talking about trash building, plumbing, landscaping, electrical work. That is essential services. People delivering stuff. That's not essential. Even furniture delivery, because people mess up furniture when they're sitting at home. They tear stuff up. Handyman, construction. I mean, you got to have the internet. We have to stop letting people think, oh, they are an entrepreneur. I'm going to say this, and I know people may get mad. Ain't nobody worrying about no lashes and no weave when they ain't got when the pandemic was happening. That was the last thing on people's mind. I'm sorry to tell people that, but that is the truth. We have to stop
Except in
setting
Atlanta.
people up for failure.
They was making sure the weaves and lashes was done to the. I was like, is this a competition, a fake lashes competition? Did I not know about it? Am I getting so old and outside of Black culture that I don't understand what's going on?
It's that service is what needed in the pandemic. I mean, people were just creating crazy things just to make money. Okay, I'll give y'all a good example. Everybody that went to a Black church know they would have an anniversary, or they would sell leg quarter plates, because you know you can go to the grocery store, IGA down here, where I'm at, IGA Piggly Wiggly. You can get about 50
leg quarter plates. This man said leg quarter plates.
Hey, the people in the chat go comment. They done heard about them leg quarter plates, them barbecue leg quarter, where you know. You go get the whole 50 pounds, 100 pounds for about $70 from the grocery store, IGA, Piggly Wiggly. If you country, you know what I'm talking about. And my church would sell a plate for $10. Nobody ever did the math to see how much they were paying for the plate and how much would it take to make a profit. So every time we would sell leg quarter plates, we wouldn't make no money. So sometimes they would do it barbecued. so I know people gonna bust out laughing. Sometimes they would fry the whole leg quarter. But we would do that. And I was young and remember nobody ever did the math to count up to see, are we actually making a profit? That's the thinking that the people in my church had. And people take that same thinking into society to see what you're investing. Did you do the numbers to see how much money it would take to get out the business? We sell a leg quarter plates on the side, not knowing. I mean, I'm sorry, y'all, but that's what it was.
Just the math. They just ain't mathing. Dr. Dix done talk about leg quarter plates, y'all. We done got off the rack. Listen, I want y'all to understand that. Again, this is why I did the show earlier talking about bumper car people, where people are out here. The leg quarters cost $5. The sides cost $5. We're gonna sell the leg quarter plate for $5. No. God, dog. Oh Lord.
I actually like leg quarters. So you know, I don't know a lot of the people leg quarter plates though.
Leg quarter plate. Listen, so here's the thing. Dr. John said champagne on the brain, but beer in the pocket. This is very true. Again, that's why I made a whole rant earlier about people crying about travel. This is travel. Again, $25 flights if you buy in advance. But Dr. Dix, they go, well, I don't know what I'm doing next year. If you don't know what you do in January, you don't know what you do in February, you don't know where, that's dangerous. You can't be 35, 30, 32, 29. Y'all don't know where you going to be in March. That's scary. You know, Black people really be giving you that low. Well, who knows if I'm going to live to see tomorrow? Baby, you got to plan in advance.
Long as the Lord keep the blood running warm in my veins. And,
as long
you know,
as
people
alive.
I saw the Frontier thing you talked about. They sold out. I actually researched that with Frontier Airlines. I think it's $9.99 or $7.99. You can fly all year, but the flights don't start to May. And I said, I mean, when you think about it, it's a steal. Frontier, they had something on there. You got to call to even do the rest of it because they were
But
booked
that's the
up.
thing, doctors. These people don't even have the $500. Again, if the average emergency of $400 can bankrupt the average American, us talking about paying $500 to $699 to Frontier is bankrupt. And I'm not even talking about Frontier, y'all. I'm talking about American Airlines and Delta had $25 and $45 flights in March, April, May, as long as I bought them in advance. This is why when y'all get bedazzled by people who, oh, they always traveling, they living the jet set life. They live in the $25 flight, paid in advance flight. When you meet these people that's traveling over to Europe, many of these guys, the most expensive thing these passport bros buy is the ticket. They over there eating $2 pork chop sandwiches, living their best life on the beach somewhere. It's the ticket to get there that's cost the most money. Again, housing in Mexico and all these other places, $100 a night, super cheap stuff. Again,
it takes money to live, people. I just tell people it takes a lot of money to live. Like you said, the average American doesn't have $1,000. Oh, I don't know if the listeners and Erica, you saw this too. Credit card debt is at an all-time high, and Christmas hasn't even happened yet. So everybody's putting everything on credit. I think this week or next week, the Fed chairman, they might raise the interest rates again, but they're saying inflation is cooling off. There's a good chance they're going to raise it again. What if y'all don't know, they're trying to make y'all stop spending money, but everybody just throwing money off left, right. And the times I've traveled recently, the Atlanta airport is packed. The airplane is packed. They'll make the announcement. We have no overhead space. If your bag is there, checking in. I said, where are people getting money from if the average American only makes $40,000 to $50,000, and a plane ticket right now is about $700 to $800? I don't know where people get money from, but the Uncle Joe money, as I say, and the Donald Trump money done ran out. So, and people not working. Somebody let me know where people get money
from. The
from.
strip clubs told us 3 months ago that money was gone. Again, this I want y'all to understand. We have this powerful media. I think Diamond Dave, I didn't even finish listening to it, but I heard some of it. He's very right. A lot of this, people just want to come on this internet and vent and act a fool and cut up and then just go back to struggling. Just go back to bumper car life. And so when you sit here and come out here and tell people, hey, you can make $180K a year with tech. You can make $180K being a medical courier. You can make all this money doing this. They are quick to be negative, backbiting, bitter in the comment. No, you can't. You know why they mad? They're so mad at me and the people I bring on this channel that tell the truth. You know why? Because they realize how many years they wasted of their life with the stupid stuff. They realize how many years, damn, I could have did that. Man, if I was 35 again. And they always got the same excuses. Well, my kids, my back, my knees, my aching, but it's always something. So with these women, what's going to happen is these women that are leaving the workforce, some by choice and some by force, because I know some people in the chat are saying, well, my aunt wanted to work because she was bored. That's different. I'm talking about women who have to work. If they don't work, they'll be homeless next month. Not people who got, cool stuff going on. I'm talking about people that have to work. Right?
There are a good bit of women. Yeah.
That's
there are a lot of women I know have to work. And a lot of, I know just like men, as you get older, you look back at the choices of your life. And a lot of those women are probably wishing they would have did differently, dated the right kind of guys, not had children. And we have to stop rewarding failure in culture. That is really what has us down. We reward people for failing and never reward the people that actually do it the right way or try to do it the right way. Oh, girl, you got a baby on the way. No, that's nothing to celebrate, people. She was already struggling. Now she has a child to bring in. Zuzu, these kids need Zuzu over there on Zip on H Drive. All he got is a Hellcat Charger. Y'all know we love to talk about Hellcat Chargers and Challengers. That's all he got. He got a $75,000 car. Can't even buy Infamil. And now everybody else got to pick the burden up for Zuzu because Zuzu about to go to federal prison. He on an indictment anyway, but she got pregnant by him.
But listen, this right here, Dr. Dix. Last 2 years, 16,000 childcare centers were forced to close their doors and now are limited capacity. So first of all, you have 58% of parents unable to find childcare. Then you have 26% can't even afford it.
Oh, you could move that the Dr. Virginia thing.
Oh, hold on, let me see.
Yeah. That message thing. There you go.
So 16,000 child care centers closed. And then 58% of parents can't find nobody to take the kid. And 26% are unable to even pay. So the 26% that can't pay, that's 1 in 3. Come on now, that's almost 1 in 3 parents can't afford to pay. That means somebody got to do what? Come up out the workforce. Somebody got to stay home with these kids. Half of all the workers and nearly 60% of parents name childcare as their most. Oh, sorry, the screen went down. They say childcare is their most reason for leaving the workforce. So now you got these people blaming these po babies. Listen, watch, when these kids about 12, 15, I lost my job because of you. I left my job and I take care of you. That's why I'm in this position. That's why you got to take care of mama, because I left my job 12 years ago. I got a friend to this day. His parents lost their job in 2008. The economic crisis of 2008. And his dad has not worked since. Well, I lost that good roofing job and I got in a car accident. So that's why I haven't been working all these years.
What have you been doing for 14 years?
But chilling. Mama going to work part-time. They living real cheap. Living on love. Living on air. The best thing, I hate to say this, the best thing that happened to him is he got in a car accident. It totaled his truck and they paid them $100,000. And he got a new truck and he just been sitting, living on love and air sandwiches.
So he getting disability or something?
No, that's what I'm saying. This man could go work tomorrow. He used to do those Dish Network installations. You crawl on the roof and stuff and you put on people's house. He could go do that tomorrow. Ain't nothing wrong with this man. Ain't nothing wrong with this man. And he's like, my parents, he's like, it's because of Donald Trump. I said, man, this ain't because of Donald Trump. It's because your parents is lazy, man. Your mama's too old to be working full time, so she's working part time, and your daddy over there sitting up watching sports all day. Get out of here.
Well,
there, people doing that. People doing that mess.
Sitting at home chilling, and somebody will blame the stuff with Trump. They'll blame the pandemic. I lost my job.
Obama, shit, all of them.
Obama, Osama, they'll blame everybody.
Joe Biden's cousin, Kamala did it to him. But then when you ask him why, he said, well, because this is what I'm telling you, Dr. Dix, every time we see this person, if I had to, I go out there tomorrow and work real hard. Because these men out here don't work. They don't. And you do. Man, if you don't hush your mouth.
Oh, man. He was late. The thing is, the woman married a lazy man from the get-go. He probably stroked her back. He probably hit that thing a couple of good times. They're like, yeah, Chadford, you can stay. We'll get married.
Well, no, I mean, they've been married forever, ever. But the thing of it is, it's like, people take that one incident and they milk it as long as they can milk. So now you go to a job interview, even if you want to go do contracting, you ain't worked since 2008. What's going on with you? Are you okay? Are you medically okay? They're going to be looking at you crazy.
Lord have mercy. And the guy got the audacity. The wife probably struggling. That woman working, doing everything she can, because he got to have medical insurance. As you get older, your medical insurance get more expensive because now you're a liability. The government don't want you to live too long anyway, because you're a burden on the Social Security system. So I can imagine what health insurance is for both of them. Because the last thing you want to do is be young without health insurance, or even be old without health insurance. It's scary because whether people know it or not, you get treated differently depending on what kind of medical insurance you got. So if you don't have it, but that's a whole different story. Haven't worked since 2008.
And every couple of summers, I mean, there's 1 or 2 summers I remember where he did some lawn care, but he only did it for the summer and sat down. Texas has 10 months of summer out here. He could work 10 months out of the year. If you can do a little bit of lawn care, riding a lawn care mower around, helping your neighbors in the neighborhood, cutting their grass, and they give you some money, you could work. You could work. It's a choice. Somebody asked me what the name of the article is. I put it in the chat. He said that's why women leave the workforce. Probably trying to get that crazy check. I don't know. But I know when they had that accident and they paid them that $100K, boy, they said they had no mortgage. They just paying their taxes and her car's paid off. They go on a cruise, so he get up and get around when he want to. So
probably got a gut, just walk around, drink Budweiser.
You already know. Got to work out more this year. Be like, sir, I don't want to hear that.
lazy, man. That's just despicable. But
But that's only in America. Living in America, you can do that. If you listen, I know two people who they have a house in North Carolina. They inherited. All they got to pay is property tax and the light bill. So when they be talking about I'm struggling, I'm like, you a lie, and the devil's not in you. You ain't got no mortgage, unless you took a mortgage and didn't tell nobody. You ain't got no mortgage. You literally have a paid off car.
Mhm.
You fine. That's what we live in America.
Well, I yeah, America is the only place, like you said, Diamond Dave said, where you could be a C and then try to get to the A equivalent of stuff. This is the thing I have with people. I've said this before, that buy these foreign German cars like Audi, BMW. Most people don't live that kind of life, and you want to use the car to make up for the lack of success you have. Like, oh, girl, I tell everybody, man or woman, be very inquisitive about what somebody does when they pull up in a $70,000 car. Like, what you do to afford? If you don't make $70,000,
so many military people pull up in a Hellcat Charger. So many military people pull up in a $70,000 Ford Raptor truck. Don't let these trucks fool you. Go look on TikTok. There's a video where they walk around talking to the salespeople, and they ask them how much they car payment. $1,500, $1,300. They don't care about you leaving the office with a bad car payment because they gonna make their money. People in sales make money.
Yep.
This is the chart right here, Dr. Dix. Why are you leaving the workforce? I'm unable to find childcare. Health and safety concerns. Now, way down here, number 3. I desire to spend more time with my children. Number 2, number 4, I can't afford childcare. So the truth of all this, take out the third one. I can't afford childcare. So I have to go home. They ain't cared about little scoot butter. When they call you from school sick, you don't go pick them up. Stop lying.
Yeah, school is just an adult daycare, child daycare, for people to put their kids off for the babysitters club. That's why I'm a big proponent of the 4-day work week and the 4-day school week. Kids need to go to school 7 to 3, but people will be like, well, they did it in Texas because they don't have for the school system, they don't have enough teachers. If somebody say, Erica and Patrick, what the kids gonna do on Friday?
What are the kids gonna do?
You figure that out. School is 7 to 3 Monday through Thursday. And if your kid failed his test, he's not playing football. Little Johnny can't run a route and little Johnny can't read. So he's not playing in the state championship.
Well, hold up. In Texas, they'll pass little Johnny. Don't do that. Now in Georgia, they might not, but in Texas, they're gonna pass little Johnny. So again,
little Johnny.
When it comes to a pandemic, when it comes to, in order for these women to go work a job, well, let's just go there. Let's just go there. If your job is paying you $100K a year, you can pay for childcare. Majority of these women are making what, Dr. Dix? $30,000 a year.
Maybe 30 to 50. Yeah. And you got to think, if you're making $75,000 a year with a kid, you might as well cut your income in half, because it's going to take that food, shelter, insurance. And see, the women that have the kids, we're going to be honest, nobody thinks about what it costs to have a baby. The little Zuzu, little Red don't have no medical insurance. And now you got to put the baby on your insurance, or I think it's called TRICARE or something, or whatever kind of insurance it is.
TRICARE,
they put the
military.
Kids on. Well, my bad.
Blue Cross Blue Shield, you can do Medicaid, Medicare, you can do all of it.
I don't get when some of the chicks have the kids by Zuzu, the dope dealer. He making all that money. He can't pay a whole year of Medicare insurance. I mean health insurance for the dentures, not dentures. I mean dental and vision. And now, I don't think people just be thinking about this stuff. The baby $50 a year ago, I had a family member that was paying for a kid. That was about 7 years ago. I'm thinking it maybe $300-400 for one kid, maybe now. Y'all quote, somebody put in the chat. I know it's expensive for daycare.
Dr. Dix, right here. Workers say they are quitting because pay was too low. No opportunities for advancement. I felt disrespected at work. Childcare issues. So let's dissect this for a second. Why are these women living workforce? They realize they're not a nurse. They're not an electrician. They're not a phlebotomist. They're not a nurse anesthetist. They're not a job that pays 70, 80K a year. Like KS used to say, most of these people just have jobs. Mm-hmm. And so the math ain't mathing to keep putting these kids in daycare when you don't make over 70 or 80K a year. So that's why they're quitting. They're dressing it up and saying, well, the pay was too low. Is the pay too low for what you're doing? The thing that cracks me up the most, Dr. Dix, is when I meet all these New Yorkers who, one, can't afford to live in New York, can't afford to live in Boston, can't afford to live up north, come down south and go, y'all paying slave wages. Y'all paying slave wages down here. Y'all only pay me $12 an hour. I said, oh my God, what was the job? Right. So I'm all concerned. I'm like, let's get ready to fight for your right. I go, what's the job? Oh, it was a receptionist. A job anybody can do. Shit, they own 90-year-old mama can come answer the phones in the front desk.
Mm-hmm.
What is your job? Well, I am a part-time barista. Ma'am, you came from New York where they're overpaying you anyway, and you still can't live there. You coming down here and you're crying about the pay. It's because you don't. It's time to leave that career. That's
Yeah,
just
it
all
is.
it is. This is a beautiful nudge for you to go get a real career. That's all. And
We,
if you do not want a real career, this is the time for you to go find a huckleberry and go sit down and get married. So you can sit
mm-hmm.
down.
Yeah. When I've said this story many times. When I was going to SC State, all the young ladies that were doing like the sociology, psychology, I don't have nothing against that stuff, but that's not something you make a career out unless you're going to become a licensed psychologist or you're going to go really deep into it. Well, most people pledge the sororities or fraternities. They join. Let's just ask this question. We all know people that pledge and drop out. I said, what was the point of going to college if you're the member of a sorority or fraternity and you don't have the degree sitting on the wall or in your room or something? And we have people that do that. And as you get older, you're looking at your life obstacles and you're looking at your resources like, I made a big mistake. Now I got to play from behind.
Dr.
What are
Dix,
you going to do?
let me address something here in the chat. Y'all be making me want to do it. Y'all will regret not having kids when you get older. So me and Dr. Dix didn't say we weren't going to have kids. I don't know why y'all be thinking y'all know me. You don't know me. I'm just an internet face. The fact remains is I'm addressing the women who are having children who don't have a job, who are not married, who are living at their cousin house in a room with just a bed on the floor, not even a bed frame, having babies and saying we just gonna figure it out. This is who we're talking about. It's $300 a week minimum for infant. Period. That's low. That's on the low end. I'm not telling parents not to have kids. That's not what we're saying. This is not what this channel is talking about. What we are saying is if you have not formulated a way to take care of your own self, how are you going to take care of another person? Really want people to think about that.
Babies having babies.
And again, the number one woman having children is 39 years old. Out of wedlock is 39 years old. They're white, they're Latino, and they're black. Number one is not teenage pregnancy. Teenage pregnancies are all-time low. These teenagers are too busy trying to be on TikTok. Okay?
Yeah. The birth rate is low for teenagers right now. The thing is, I want kids, whenever that time comes, but I know what's required to raise children. Do I want my wife to work? Probably not. I don't probably want my wife to work, and I probably don't want to put my kids in the public school system. Please, private or whatever kind of school system I could put them in. But it takes a lot of money to raise kids. That's why I don't have them yet, and I need to make sure I have the right partner to have children with. That's a very, very big commitment. That's not like having Buki. Sorry, y'all. Somebody in the chat. There's another name, Buki, the German Shepherd. The way, I can't take care of them. I know some kids down the street that would love to have a German Shepherd I could give to. You can't just give a kid away. This is your child now. And depending on the child has sickness or all that other kind of stuff, it takes money and resources. So that's why, I tell people be very careful, having these kids and not having kids by the right kind of men. I mean, somebody please have a baby by a blue collar man instead of a zero that's on Trap Street over there. Just calling it what it is. I see it all the time. You can't just continue to have these kids by these guys and think men like myself in the world is going to just come in and just fill the gap. It doesn't work like that. I'm being very honest. I'm saying what needs to be said, and we need to be honest with people and saying you can't continue to do this and think somebody will step in, and men are not doing that anymore. And then people get mad and they'll call me the G word or you know, at your age, Patrick, you ain't gonna find nobody without kids. I said, I'm 38 years old. I can go scoop up a 27 to 28-year-old woman.
There's
Say, people,
women in
that's
their
the least.
30s that ain't got no kids. People, there are disciplined people in this country, and that's what people don't want to hear. That people made choices. So listen, we're gonna close it up with here. We got so many articles, but long story short, this is the medium. This ain't the average. This is the medium when they come across the board. So there's a bunch of people making less than $900 a week. There's a bunch of people making $400 a week. That's why when they sent out the stimulus check, there were people making $1,000 in a week that never made that before in their whole life. That's why the spending was so crazy. That's why it was so out of control. Again, here's another article. More women are at risk for job automation. 70% of jobs at the highest risk to being replaced are held by women. Right? So just quickly, it's cashiers, manufacturing, plant employees, waiting staff, filled by women. This one, which workers are most affected by automation? Women. Women. Soft skills, process skills, specific technical skills. Okay.
Yo, yeah, those are the skills y'all can learn to make sure that you we talk about soft skills and having analytical skills. This world is advancing. Skill sets we have, I have to continue to improve on mine. So I'm trying to share this information with everybody and let them know you are not going to make it in this upcoming world. It's scary for me. I feel so sorry. And it gets to me because I know everybody's not going to make it, and I'm trying to help people as much as I can. People really, really got to build a skill set up. Like Tam says, skill up as much as you can. Well,
Again,
Femi, we didn't.
If you have, we didn't take it personally. At the end of the day, anybody who is in the workforce and don't think that every year they need to be going to a conference, reading books, or improving themselves, they're already out of date. If you're not on your own educating yourself or adding one certificate at least a year to yourself, like even if your career is something different, logistics, management, something. If you're not updating yourself, it's easy for the boss to come by and be like, okay, let me go and let you go. No, listen, I have this ideal. I have this I've been working on. Oh, tell me more. So again, Femi said, well, my daughter's father's an engineer. Why do y'all think only drug dealers do this? Femi, anybody that is not held to a standard of marriage before you get pregnant can do this. This is not a, again, here we go. Listen, just because someone makes money doesn't mean they will not make a baby out of wedlock. That doesn't mean that. We see wealthy people do it all the time. But again, who gets hurt in this process? Will your daughter's father pay for the childcare services? Or do you have to come home? These are things that people have to really discuss. But a lot of women are the ones going home because he makes plenty as an engineer, correct? That's all I'm saying. So anyway, let me go. Let me wrap this up. My brain hurts. Yeah. So anyway, look, y'all get what I'm saying. The kind of the tilt is for people who have higher incomes to have kids. That's where it's at. Again, pandemic accelerated job automation, and Black Latino workers are the most likely to be replaced. So again, I'm giving you options. We give you the bitter pill or the bill pill. And I don't mean all that manosphere shit. I'm talking about real the what do you call it? The matrix. You can wake up today and say, every woman I encounter, everybody in my family, I'm gonna tell them, hey, you need to make more money. You need to do this, or you need to go figure this out. I'm gonna hold them accountable as an adult, or I'm gonna help them with resources, or send them a particular way. Or I'm gonna go back to bumper car life. Oh Lord, you lost your job? That's shocking. You lost your apartment? That's shocking. You can't afford childcare? Yep. That's crazy. That's really the choices we're at this point.
I do my best. The thing, what I'm doing to tell people, this stuff hasn't really, really became so widespread, but it is getting there. There's still time to prepare for this stuff. But once it becomes widespread and it's set in stone, it is over. It's not there yet. And the people, everybody, you still have time to prepare for this stuff. As much as we give doom and gloom, you still have time to prepare for this stuff. Make sure that you are taking advantage of every opportunity, because we don't know. I was telling somebody, I said, in the next 2028 presidential election, the world ain't gonna look like it looks now 6 years from now. It might not look like in the 2024. 2 years from now. So it's moving very fast. So just make sure you're prepared and you can enroll with it. And if you need to move, you can afford to. And if something happens, you can do it too.
Yeah, it's just freedom of choice. It's totally freedom of choice. And you guys see the checkout. Again, easy jobs that people could get a foot up or make some extra cash for the year, make extra cash this season or Christmas, that stuff is closing. That's where that we mean when we talk about automation. Stuff that was simple that you could just get a part-time job and run up some little cash for the year, or run up some little cash for your summer travels and pay out of pocket. A lot of that stuff is closing. So, you guys, this is your girl Erica from the Classic Climb blog. This is Dr. Patrick Dix out here saving saving these ladies one day at a time.
saving souls by saving souls by covering up. Y'all don't want me to freestyle. Saving souls by covering up mud holes, keeping them off their pole.
Lord help me, y'all. He just come out here with stuff. See, this is why we can't bring nowhere from South Carolina on camera. They don't know how to act. They don't want to act right. All right, you guys, listen, look up Dr. Patrick Dix online, King of Automation. Definitely check out his links in the description, and also will be tagged to the first comment. Dr. Dix will have some posts on the wall this week. We will tag him in those posts, and you'll be able to see his page. Thank you so much, Dr. Dix. Again, tell people where people can find you on Instagram and online.
I'm on YouTube at Dr. Patrick Dix. I'm on LinkedIn at Dr. Patrick Dix. On Instagram, King of Automation. Those are the best places to find me. I post frequently on both. So last show, a lot of people reached out to me. I enjoy that. Continue to reach out to me, connect with me, so you can know what I'm up doing. And I will be on the channel every Tuesday until the end of the year. We're gonna finish out strong all together.
Listen, y'all think I'm joking? Next level, y'all. Anyways, definitely join us for the rest of the year. We have some great automation conversations coming up. Thank you, Dr. Dix.
All right.